at quarterback, week 6. Who are your top 5?
So I have Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray in the top 5, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yep, exact same one for me. And I was interested to see if you were going to have. I know a lot of people have Mahomes like third or third or fourth, but he's actually coming out like a good point behind even Murray, and I think that's just because number one, obviously the rushing, those top 4 give you a little extra on the ground, but number 2, the Bills defense has been really good, so you can't just you would expect it to be a shootout and Mahomes to get some numbers that way. I have his touchdown projection, I think around 2, which is high for a quarterback, but still have the yards, like 270 or so. So, that's just out of respect for the Bills D. So yeah, Mahomes is number 5 for me, but I think he's 3 in consensus. So we're a little lower on him.
Yeah. And I saw the Bills are up to -3 in that game. How crazy is that?
Hey, it's the Gabe Davis effect.
Yeah, we were about a year early on that game. Man, we got them at +1 and now they're -3.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a Chiefs play at this point now. I hate to say it.
Exactly.
I probably stay away, but yeah, it's quite interesting.
Be a good one though.
Yeah, the totals I think up to 54. So for fantasy, that's what we care about.
Oh yeah.
Who are you high on?
I'm actually high on Justin Fields this week. I have him as my QB. Yeah, believe it or not.
Yo, this is what happens when you don't fill out the outline. You're always stealing every time you're stealing my guy. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my God. It looks
good
like
call.
It looks like I'm same on the low one too. I always like the surprise though.
Sure. Me too.
But yeah, I'll let you go first on the next one. Sorry about that.
It's all
but yeah, so he's my QB 16 now. Looks like the consensus is QB 20. Now he does benefit from having 4 teams on a bye, but he's trending up after a brutal start to the season. He's established a very solid rushing floor now, 3 straight games of 45 or more rushing yards. He had that 52-yard scramble for a touchdown that got called back. So he almost had a pretty big game. And they have been throwing downfield a bit more to Darnell Mooney. So he could unlock that here against the Commanders, who ranked 29th in DVOA against the pass. They've been pretty vulnerable to downfield passes too, allowing the 5th most yards on pass attempts, 20+ yards downfield. So after being more of a QB 2-3 fringe for me the past 2 weeks, he is now a mid-range QB 2. So congratulations, Justin Fields.
Yeah, I mean, you said it very well because I literally have them also at QB 16, and I feel the same way. He's actually down at QB 21 in consensus as we record this on Tuesday. But yeah, he had his best game of the week throwing the ball, which was encouraging. 15 of 21 for 208, 1 touchdown, no picks, and only 2 sacks, which is big because like every week, whatever defense faces him, they always are like my number 1 defense, like just because sacks are so much more predictive than any other stat. And so, finally he's maybe getting the sack numbers down a little bit. So I like it. And I think with the Commanders D, it's the Carson Wentz effect, right? It's like you face Carson Wentz in practice and you think that you're playing good defense. And then you realize Carson Wentz is just a bottom tier NFL quarterback and your defense is actually not that good when you get in a real game. All right. I'm low on Trevor Lawrence. Not even letting you go first.
No, go for it.
I got him QB 19. He's a consensus QB 12 for some reason. Listen, love Trevor, but I want to rewatch that Houston Jaguars game, which I know, not much to watch, but just really curious. I always love to watch the lowest scoring games first when I do my rewatches, just because they came on Red Zone the least. So yeah, I'm most likely to have missed something in those games. But first of all, Trevor Lawrence, I don't know how much you got to see of him, but he's missing a lot of throws, like just accuracy wise, like a lot of high throws early in the game, but I counted maybe 10 to 12 inaccurate throws. Maybe I'm overestimating a little bit, but not liking what I'm seeing out of the accuracy. And he's averaging just 246 passing yards and 12 rushing yards per game. So obviously not great. And then only 235 yards and 2 scores against Indy last game in a game they dominated. So that was with going 25 out of 30. So if that inaccuracy rears its ugly head, I mean, everything was underneath against this Coach D. We got to respect this Coach D after, just seeing what they've done on the season. They held the Chiefs down. Obviously, they baited Russell Wilson into a horrible game. A lot of that was on Russ, but we'll give the Coach D some credit. So, yeah, I just don't see how we're getting to QB 12 even in a bye week with Trevor.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm right there with you with Trevor Lawrence. I'm low on him, although I peeked at the outline. This is the last one we're the same, so okay. That's good. But he's my QB 15. Obviously, QB 12 is a bit much. I think we need to treat him more as a QB 2 in the meantime. Like you said, he had a pretty rough outing last week against the Texans, and I was happy. I was watching that game. I usually watch Sunday Ticket. I have like 4 or 5 games on at once. And I was trying to figure out what's going on with OJ Howard. So I was watching this game a little bit too much. So, but yeah, Lawrence, he looked like shit, not going to lie. He still has a ton of upside. So eventually I think he will be a QB1 in fantasy, but just right now we got to back off a bit. It was encouraging to see him run a bit more. He rushed for 29 yards. I think, that's his first game with 10 or more rushing yards. I think, one of his upside, he has sneaky rushing upside. So that's, I think, how he's going to be a QB1 going forward. So that was nice to see. But right now, we got to tap the brakes just a bit until he shows a bit more consistency. Although this isn't too bad of a matchup. The Colts are more of a pass funnel defense right now. So he could come through. But I'm not ranking him inside my top 12 for now.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts defense, they're just a pretty good defense, I think. It's not like yes, they're great against the run, but it's not like, if you're getting teams into 3rd and 8 or, 2nd and long, it's still tougher to pass the ball. So, Lawrence, it's not there for when you score 6 points against the Texans, that's an automatic downgrade.
Brutal.
All right. I'm up for the quarterback prop. Let's go with. We got to go with Russell Wilson here. He's consensus. He's consensus QB 13. So some people, it seems, may still have to consider starting him this week. So we're going to go with his passing yards, bum shoulder and all. Maybe it's just an excuse. Who knows? But we're going to go with 237.5.
Oh, man. Oh, I'm at 240 and I don't like it. But yeah, I don't really know what's up the shoulder. So let's just go with the under.
Okay.
But I don't like it. Great line, first of all, great line. But later in the week I'll have a better idea. But right now I'm just leaning under. It's a strained lat or something near his right shoulder. I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on there. But do you know any
strained ego? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Strained ego.
But something's definitely up with him.
He fell off the horse. He's off the horse.
He's off the horse.
I
wouldn't be surprised if that's his exact prop like this weekend. I think sportsbooks
that's good.
Will probably float, if I had to guess, 237.5.